Why play Zoe mid? Well, she has insane burst damage. She's great at picking off enemy champions, she's strong throughout the game, and she has very high range. However, she's almost fully skill shot reliant for her damage, and she is squishy without a reliable escape. Zoe's passive is after using an ability, her next basic attack or W proc will deal additional damage. Zoe's Q has two parts to it. The first part is a skill shot which goes a set distance before stopping in the air. If this hits an enemy, it deals damage in a small area. However, once this ability is stopped, it can be recast and launch it again in a new direction. The empowered cast has increased speed and radius of the explosion. In addition, this ability deals more damage the further the Q has travelled, and the Q's distance is 800 units away from Zoe, so as long as Zoe keeps moving, it can keep travelling further. Zoe's W has a few different elements to it. Firstly, upon casting a summoner spell, she gains bonus movement speed and summons 3 bolts which attack nearby enemies, dealing damage to them. In addition, if an enemy casts a summoner spell or uses an item's active effect, they drop a spell shard of it on the floor. Enemy minions also sometimes spawn with these. Zoe can then pick up these shards to have access to that spell as a one-time use. Zoe's E is a straight line skill shot which deals damage to the first enemy hit and causes them to become drowsy, which slows them until they fall asleep. And while asleep they lose magic resist. If they are dealt damage while asleep, they are awoken and take bonus true damage. If this ability doesn't hit a target, it instead creates a circle on the floor which will affect any enemies that walk over it. And if this ability is used through terrain, it extends the distance it can travel. Zoe's ultimate causes her to blink in the target direction and appear there for a short amount of time before blinking back automatically. For combos, land your E then follow up with an attack before they go to sleep. Use Q and attack again, and then launch a Q at them once more and attack again. And your large burst combo is to land E and then throw your Q in the opposite direction. After this, ult towards your target and attack, and then reactivate your Q and attack again for a massive explosion of damage. For matchups, Zoe is great into lower mobility mid laners who she can easily sleep and then explode. And she can struggle against assassins who can easily dodge her abilities and get onto her. For runes, take this. Electrocute makes your burst even better. For build order, start Ring and Pot into Ludens and tier 2 boots. After this, a Storm Surge and Shadow Flame are great pickups before finishing a build with any of these as needed. For skill order, start Q then E then W before maxing Q then E then W, taking ult whenever you can. For summoner spells, take Flash and Ignite. Starting the game, as the mid laner, your main focus is going to be on farming hard and taking good trades. Because minions will block your E and your Q, it can be hard to trade at this point in the game. However, Zoe's Q gives her access to amazing wave clear. So, if your opponent's playing in a way where you will be able to land E's, absolutely go for them and start bullying them early. A random good summoner spell or active item can absolutely change this in your favour. For example, if you suddenly have access to 2 different flashes, getting on top of your opponent to land the E is far easier. Otherwise, Zoe is great at hard pushing a lane and then roaming top or bot to make an influence elsewhere. As all of her abilities are great through terrain, especially once you have your level 6, the ability to sleep them, pop into the lane and blow them up is incredible. When team fighting, you normally want to start by poking with Q beforehand. Landing one of these onto a backliner will simply half health them at this point in the game. From here, you play a sort of mage assassin hybrid. You can simply throw out damage against their front line to get good damage out, or you can wait for that opportunity to land an E through a wall and then explode them with your Q.